Use disclaimer. The copyright laws of the United States recognizes a fair use of copyright content. Section 107 of the United States Copyright Act states, notwithstanding the provisions of sections 106 and 106A, the fair use of a copyrighted work, including such use by reproduction, in copies or phone records or by any other means specified by that section for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, including multiple copies for classroom use, scholarships, or research, is not an infringement of copyright. This video and YouTube channel in general may contain copyrighted works that were not specifically authorized to be used by the copyright holders, but which we believe in good faith are protected by federal law and the fair use doctrine for one or more of the reasons noted above. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. This story is out of Cleveland, Ohio, where 29-year-old Jason D. Iverson palled his pregnant sister, 30-year-old Mercedes Iverson, and her husband, 31-year-old Trey Norbert Carter, unaliving them both. According to Cleveland.com, Maple Heights police arrested a man of fatally powering two people and injuring another at his family Labor Day picnic. Officers picked up Jason D. Iverson, 29, Monday near Stanford Park after they said he palled his pregnant sister and brother-in-law, taking them both out. A 13-year-old boy was also struck. Police said Mercedes Iverson, 30, and her husband, Trey Carter, 31, were at the park for a family's picnic. Jason and his sister had an ongoing dispute, the police said. Officers said they received numerous calls at about 3:15 p.m. about a fight at the park at Mayville Avenue. Take a listen.
They left a pregnant woman and her husband park in Maple Heights. Yesterday, the Maple Heights police chief told 3 News the suspected gunman was that woman's brother. And in just the last few hours, they've released his identity.
This park was full of people for Labor Day events when this happened yesterday afternoon around 3:15 p.m., leaving 3 people dead and another person injured. Maple Heights police have now identified the suspected gunman as Jason Iverson. The victims were his relatives, with whom he allegedly had a feud with. 3 News has learned that they were his pregnant sister, 30-year-old Mercedes Iverson, and her husband, 31-year-old Norbert Carter. Police say when Iverson came to the park, he tried to physically fight them. The family members went to their vehicle to avoid the problem, but witnesses say Iverson then followed them and pulled out. He reportedly shot his sister and a 13-year-old that was in the car, and then chased after his brother-in-law and shot him in a park bathroom. The 13-year-old is expected to be okay, but Iverson's sister, unborn child, and brother-in-law. Dispatchers were flooded with 911 calls during all of this, and we do want to warn you, they were all very disturbing.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
I got certified. My cousin is 30 weeks pregnant.
Listen, is she breathing at all?
No, it's blood everywhere. It's coming out of her mouth.
Okay, all right. We're on the way, okay? Who's her?
Her brother.
With Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, I have one black male down, multiple wounds at Stafford Park in the bathroom.
The 13-year-old that was struck had a graze wound that was treated, and he's since been released from the hospital. Iverson allegedly tried to flee the scene after this, but was caught and arrested, facing murder and attempted murder charges. He's expected to be arraigned tomorrow.
I just heard it, and I turned around. I was cutting a watermelon. I turned around, and everybody was running towards this way. And when we tried to get all the kids, I didn't panic too much, but I did panic.
Johnny Coleman was at the park with his church group.
Really, I wasn't scared, but the kids, I was more concerned about the kids. You know, a stray bullet, you know, they ain't got no names on them.
I know CPR or something. It just hurt.
This mom in tears as she recalls the chaos that broke out behind her home at Stafford Park in Maple Heights yesterday afternoon, just after 3.
Because I wanted to help, and I just didn't know what happened.
Denisha was unloading her groceries when all of a sudden she saw people running away from the park and into her yard.
I seen elderly people falling in my yard, walkers, canes, kids screaming, "Mommy." I'm just trying to figure out what they need. He ran past my house. And 2 seconds later, hands up, I'm about to drop my groceries. I don't know what's going on. They were a beautiful family. They just started a family together. That's so sad. I don't know what can be that serious.
Maple Heights Councilman Stafford Chenette says there is no tolerance for violence that's tearing our communities apart. He says, quote, "I want to dispel the belief that we as a community should embrace the cultural violence theory. Embracing such an idea creates a community where we become immune to violence. Violence is real, but prioritizing safety is the first step to deterring the same."
Ray was more excited than Mercedes because Mercedes was the one that was sick.
She says the Parma couple was only at Stafford Park in Maple Heights on Labor Day to do her a favor, to drop off a stroller.
Then out of the blue, you know, my son shows up, and as soon as he sees them, he's just like, he just goes off. So I don't know what he was doing before that got him so enraged, you know, but he just wouldn't let up.
Do you have any idea why your son was so upset with your daughter and her husband?
Well, that's a long story in itself, you know, but the bottom line is he was holding a grudge. He just wouldn't let it go. It just festered, and I guess that was the end result.
Never in a million years could Ivy have imagined that her 29-year-old son, Jason Iverson, would shoot his own pregnant sister and her husband in cold blood.
Him and his sister has always been close. You know, he's always been able to call her and she would bail him out of whatever it was.
What do you think it was? You think he just snapped?
I think so. You know, there were a couple of setbacks that he was dealing with in his life. And I guess he just couldn't handle it. Everything just came to a head. To my knowledge, he was supposed to have been seeking help. Being a parent, it's kind of hard when you have grown children that have issues because there's only so much you can do.
She says it's hard to accept that her daughters and her son are the same person.
It's very hard for me to come to terms with that.
Wow, that's sad. Her own brother. There's nothing my siblings could do that would warrant unaliving them. And in front of their own mother, I couldn't imagine. Mom seems so torn, it sounds like to me. Like she's trying to protect her son by choosing her words wisely and not to incriminate him. It's given, he may be on some sort of drugs or having a little bit of mental issues. I'm gonna take number one for 200, Alex, okay? And to know Mercedes and her husband wouldn't have even been at the park had mom not asked for a favor. I couldn't imagine anything like this. Just unbelievable. I will definitely stay on top of this story as it's still developing and bring y'all updates. With that said, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And smash that notification bell so y'all see when I drop my next video. Stay blessed. Peace.